Keir Starmer's persecution of the people who signed the petition for new elections caused a real storm of indignation throughout the UK. The leader of the Labour Party is accused of using extreme measures to intimidate and punish anyone who dares to express their opinion. There are many shocking reports that people are becoming victims of cruel persecution and are being punished just for adding their name to the petition. This petition, which has already gathered millions of signatures, demands new elections, reflecting deep dissatisfaction with Starmer's leadership. This is a bold but extremely dangerous step on the part of the government aimed at suppressing dissent, and it only adds fuel to the fire. But what really caused this scandal? It all started with powerful protests by farmers, led by such prominent personalities as Jeremy Clarkson, who opposed the government's unfair inheritance tax policy.
Well, Keir Starmer is apparently threatening to give everybody a respect order that has signed the petition. Now, I've just looked up what a respect order is, and I'm going to read it to you.
All we hear from each other is anger and discontent about too many migrants. But as soon as they dare to say it out loud or march, the London elite immediately calls them far-right extremists or racists. It's just not fair. In most cases, this is not true. Farmers feel betrayed and deceived by Starmer's policies, which they believe threaten their family farms and their future. Clarkson, a well-known advocate for the interests of the agricultural community, delivered a powerful speech to convey their alarm, accusing the government of a shameful lack of support for those who feed our nation. He spoke not only on behalf of farmers, but also became the voice of many ordinary people who feel that the government ignores their needs, caring more about political power than about the welfare of the people.
If I have a pig and I butcher it, I slaughter it and butcher it and turn it into a sausage, that sausage will cost here 74p. If I buy imported pig meat, make it into a sausage, it's 18p.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Something's wrong with our food system in this country. My pig reared on my farm, by the time it gets here, it's got a cost of 74p. An imported sausage, 18.
The turning point came when farmers, already exhausted from rising costs, realized in an instant that they could no longer tolerate it. It wasn't just dissatisfaction with high grain and fuel prices, it was a struggle for survival, a threat looming over their family farms due to a new inheritance tax that could ruin their work and dreams. The government's plan to impose exorbitant taxes on farm estates when they were passed on to the next generation caused a real storm of anger, and soon protests broke out across the country. At the forefront of this movement was Jeremy Clarkson, who, using his platform, became the voice of those who were on the verge of despair. He didn't just give farmers a chance to speak out, he became their advocate, their hope. In his direct and decisive style, he was not afraid to openly criticize government policy, arguing that this tax could destroy the future of British agriculture. He furiously pointed out the hypocrisy when farmers working on their land are burdened with taxes, while the government generously subsidizes farmers in other countries. This was absurd, and Clarkson was not shy about condemning the government for not putting the interests of British farmers first. But it wasn't just about farming, it reflected the growing disillusionment of the entire British public with a government that seemed increasingly out of touch with reality and people's needs. Clarkson's participation in the protests was a powerful impulse that ignited a spark of hope and unity, affecting not only farmers, but also ordinary people across the UK, who are also tired of being ignored and indifferent.
What's your message to the new government? Do you think they get the kind of rural economy at all?
No, I don't think any of them have set foot outside Kentish Town for the last 35 years. No, they're a hopeless bunch.
So would you invite Keir to your pub, Keir Starmer, Prime Minister?
No, he's banned. He's the first person to be banned. He's actually on a board in the hall. He's banned.
Why? What have you got against him?
Hello? I thought you were running a news operation.
Okay.
He hasn't done much to endear himself to me yet. But we'll have a look at farming all night.
Jeremy Clarkson's role in this struggle has turned into more than just supporting farmers. He has become their loudest and most powerful voice. As a famous television presenter with a huge audience, Clarkson used his popularity to expose government failures that threatened the lives and futures of thousands of people. He vehemently opposed the unfair inheritance tax, which endangered the existence of farmers, calling it a policy that could destroy family farms across the country. But his activism wasn't limited to just that. Clarkson boldly raised more serious issues concerning the whole society, in particular, the unbearable increase in the cost of living. He did not hesitate to criticize the government for its complete inaction in supporting vulnerable groups, such as pensioners who cannot afford to heat their homes in winter. His public statements have caused a real wave of support and awakened a nation that has felt overwhelmed and forgotten for too long. Clarkson became not just a symbolic leader of farmers, but a real call to unite society.
Well, we've been strongly opposed to some of that.
Jeremy?
What?
What's happening here?
I'm banning your daughter.
Why is she banned?
Because she moaned because she couldn't have Tabasco in her Bloody Mary. So she's banned.
Keir Starmer, James May, Maddie Hornby, you're all banned.
It was not just an eccentric gesture, it was a vivid and powerful testimony to the depth of his hostility. Clarkson, who opened a pub in Oxfordshire, said with determination that he was not going to welcome the Labour leader to his establishment. The ban was not just a political statement, it was a direct and harsh message. Clarkson has made it clear that he is not only opposed to Starmer's policies, but also opposes the very man behind those policies. It wasn't the first time Clarkson had openly clashed with a politician, but the ban on visiting his dad took the situation to a whole new level. This was a clear indication of how much Starmer's leadership had undermined trust between the government and the people. The public insult attracted media attention and became a sensational headline. It also highlighted the personal differences between the two men, which only added fuel to the growing public discontent with Starmer.
A respect order is meeting a manifesto pledge to crack down on all anti-social behaviour. The new respect order will give the police and local councils the power to ban prospective offenders from town centres drinking in public spots such as high streets and local parks. And it will also stop perpetrators from, undertake positive rehabilitation, and failure to comply with the respect order will be a criminal offence. Police will have the ability to immediately arrest anyone who is breaching the respect order.
People from all walks of life, not only farmers, rushed to sign it with burning hearts, demonstrating that they no longer intend to remain in the shadows. The surge in support was not only caused by the inheritance tax, it was a cry from the soul, a protest against government inaction in the face of many crises, from rising energy bills to health disasters. The petition became a collective statement that Starmer had lost the trust of those he was supposed to serve, and that trust could no longer be restored.
He's saying that we're being antisocial by signing a petition. And if we all carry on signing the petition, we can be arrested because it's antisocial. What a load of shit. Honestly, I cannot believe what I am reading.
But it says there, it's also where people have caused misery to local people.
Yeah.
But it's causing misery not locally, nationally. So this is, I think, personally, that we should put a petition forward and get it signed by as many people as possible to call a respect order on Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, girls and boys? Shall we do it? Shall we put the lead up?
With each new signed name, the pressure on Starmer grew like a wave ready to sweep away everything in its path. Every day the number of signatures grew rapidly, emphasizing that the situation was changing and people would no longer be silent. And how did Starmer react? He simply dismissed the problem as if it didn't matter, which only added fuel to the fire of growing discontent and anger.
Labour have come with the best values for me. I'd have voted Labour, Conservative, Reform, whoever's out there that I think's best for me. And I think most of the public do the exact same. Quite a lot of the public don't even bother voting because they don't trust any of them.
That's such a good...
As the petition rapidly gained popularity and millions of voices loudly demanded change, Keir Starmer's reaction was strikingly dismissive. Instead of taking people's anxiety and pain seriously, he laughed it off, dismissing the rising tide of discontent with arrogance, as if it were just a light breeze. There was a clear disregard for the seriousness of the situation in his manner of communication. He made it clear that he did not see any need to listen to the voices that sounded around him. His confidence in his position in power seemed unshakable, and that seemed to be what mattered most to him, even more than the fate of those who were waiting for a change. Share your opinion in the comments. See you later.